Yeah, yeah. Everything I do, I do it natural. Make it look so natural. I'm just a natural, naturally. Woke up so natural. It comes so natural. Shout out to Skyra Bliss. It's natural. Natural. Yes, I'm all natural. Everything comes natural, naturally. I thought this was appropriate.
Yeah.
With the ice cream, you know. My body looks like it's been dripping in diamonds. Don't know if I'm hitting the club, I'm deciding. I stay paparazzi ready. You already know.
What's up, y'all?
Hey. We are back.
It's Purple Dank.
Classes in session.
Tonight's discussion is all about edibles, and so we're just going to continue on with that. We just enjoyed our own Purple Dank edibles ice cream.
Yes,
I was tardy.
Ice cream was good.
I was tardy, guys. I tried.
Here, she made
I
it.
tried it.
Yes.
Yeah, you liked it, Carl?
It was
just got a live review from Carl over here. Yeah.
You just tried it, y'all, and
Yes,
he approved.
he definitely approved.
Yes.
Most definitely. Next level.
Right.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't taste that. The weed is very minimal. The taste.
The taste is minimal.
Yeah,
the
The effect is maximum.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. We got a lot going on.
You might end up eating more because you don't taste
And it's so good. Yeah.
And it's good as shit. That's how I put mine down, because I ain't gonna be that person. I got shit to do. Look, you're gonna be talking to, you're gonna be sitting over here talking to Nipsey and shit. They're talking about, well, what you think about this, brother? You know, Nipsey interactive than the motherfucker. Hey.
That's what's up.
Guala, get off the fucking feed. He talking about something, hey, what's with about the Love for Lovey segment? So on his show, he used to have his show. It was the Man Guala Man Cave show. And it was like the She-Man Woman Haters Club, basically. And they would do their gripes about black or just women and stuff that women did and stuff they did to women.
Didn't the last nigga that did that shit end up dying from a heart attack?
Oh, this was before Kevin Samuels died and before he kind of got alive. They actually, I think they stole from Guala, you got robbed, bruh. You got robbed. You know what I mean? It did. I don't know why he don't call in. You want to call in, Guala? You know the number?
Yeah, just for anybody that doesn't know, it's 832-519-8822. Call in.
That is the number. Give it to him one more time.
That's 832-519-8822.
8822. Get this on the hotline, Guala. We want to hear about your edible story.
Okay.
Ain't nobody worried about no love or lovey segment. I posted that today. I'll drag my coochie across the concrete before I fuck with another bullshit nigga.
And you know that hurts.
Okay. That's what I'ma do.
Oh shit. Just a visual.
Oh yeah. Guala said they coming back. Well, call in so we can talk about it, because I don't believe you. In the meantime, what's the difference between smoking weed? You interrupted class. You ain't calling in.
There's
you interrupted class.
That does that.
And he's that one
He's talking about
black ass nigga in the back in the classroom causing problems.
Well, I'm talking about we coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna get right up.
Yeah. Send him to the principal.
Right.
Down to the office. He probably stayed in the office. That's what he looked like. Little badass.
Yes,
all right. So we're
what
gonna move on.
Yes,
we're gonna move on to the age-old question: what is the difference between smoking weed and ingesting edibles?
Yeah.
So
what is the difference?
basically, it results in a difference in the onset time of your high and the effects of it. So when you smoke THC, it travels directly to your lungs and goes straight to your bloodstream and then to your brain. So that results in a faster onset. So you're going to feel higher probably within minutes. When it comes to an edible, the liver has to metabolize the cannabinoids before they enter into the bloodstream. So that slows down the process. It could take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before you feel the effects.
Mm.
So edibles, however, they can produce longer lasting effects than with some serious couch locking. Let me tell you,
in the couch.
don't sleep on the edibles. You actually will probably fall asleep on them.
And that's why they always tell you, wait, you know, if you're doing it, especially for the first time, take your serving and then wait 30 minutes, see how you're feeling. If you're still, you know, not feeling it at that time, then maybe you can take another serving, but definitely slow your roll.
Just wait to see, you know, if you feel anything.
It might just creep up on you.
Yeah, it definitely will creep up on you, actually.
Tap you right on your shoulder.
Okay, like,
what did I do today? I just had a bowl of ice cream. I didn't do nothing.
Okay, that's how it is. Like, when I eat edibles and I know I didn't smoke and I'm sitting there watching TV and I'm like, wait a minute. And I look in the mirror, my eyes are red. I'm like, wait, I didn't smoke anything.
Right.
I always have to trace it back to the edibles.
Yeah, I did have
real.
a bowl of ice cream today.
It is real. So moving on to THC magic.
Yeah. So we're just gonna talk a little about the science behind it.
You know, we got to get some science.
Yeah.
I like the science, guys.
Yeah, good.
I like it. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
So, okay, I call it THC magic. So, what is THC magic? It's actually called decarboxylation or decarbing your cannabis. That's the magic behind it, because the high that you get from smoking or edibles, it just would not be possible without this little step that you have to perform when you're making your edibles or any type of infusion. So decarboxylation.
If you want to get your full effects and stuff, because some people don't do that.
Right, they'll just take the cannabis and put it directly into the
butter mixture or whatever, and they have to put on the stove.
Right, but if you did not decarb it, you did not activate the cannabinoid in the THC.
So your high that you're going to feel is going to be probably minimal compared to what you really could feel if you go ahead and take this extra step.
Right. So decarbing your weed is very important. You have to do it before you make your batch, whether it's your butter, your tincture, because it unleashes, it activates the THC. And how it activates the THC, if you see that graph, it's actually an extra carboxyl molecule that THCA has on it. And THCA is what it is in its natural form. And once you add that heat to it and there's a chemical reaction, that extra carbon molecule drops off and it becomes THC. And so that's when you know that it's activated and you're ready to actually feel the psychoactive effects. You've now turned that switch on.
Yep, and it's ready to be added into that butter or the oil or whatever it is that you're about to infuse it with. Right. It's ready.
Yeah, so this is how you decarb, though, because there's even, method to that. So to go ahead and decarb your weed, you need to heat it in the oven. What you do, you would take your buds, you would spread it out on
like a cookie sheet.
Right. Set the oven to like 240 degrees. And this is the temperature where decarbing actually takes place. So at 240 degrees Fahrenheit, you heat your oven to that temperature, you place your tray with cannabis into it, you bake for 30 minutes. For CBD though, for CBD bud, you bake it longer, okay? And at a little lower temperature. So with CBD, it's 225 to around 230 degrees, and you would bake it anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour. You want the cannabis to actually have like a brown look to it, and it's a little crunchy, little crispy
like
to the touch.
Baked a little,
Right, so it's been baked, and so now you know that it's activated and it's ready to be used in whatever infusion that you're going to make. So, just for class,
remember it's important to decarb.
Right.
Decarbonize.
Decarb your weed. Believe me, you'll thank us for it.
Right, and I actually just have the recipe. And of course, all these things you can find online. You can Google it. how to, decarb your cannabis, how to make canna butter or whatever other edible that you want to make. So just for butter, because butter a lot of the times is like the basis for pretty much all your infusions. You use butter in baking,
in cooking food.
So I'm giving you guys the recipe. We'll also post it on our Instagram and our website, the canna butter recipe. And here we go. So to make your canna butter, 1 to 2 cups. It depends on how much I like. I just made a batch, and I did 2 cups. Not margarine. You want to use pure butter, okay? Because the purer the butter, the higher the fat content.
That's
margarine is water, y'all.
Yes, it's watered down butter.
You don't want that in your infusions. Okay, so 1 to 2 cups butter, a tablespoon of lecithin granules. You guys can find that anywhere, Whole Foods, Sprouts, your local vitamin store. Lecithin is really important. It increases the potency of your infusion. So any type of fat content like oil, coconut oil, olive oil, MCT oil, butter, you're going to want to use lecithin, 1 tablespoon per cup of whatever it is that you're infusing. And it's because it makes the availability of the cannabinoids more present. It enhances and increases the bioavailability of the cannabinoids. It attaches to the fat, which then enhances the potency of your cannabis infusion.
What?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
learning in class today too as well. That's what's up.
Okay.
Lecithin, y'all.
So you have your 1 to 2 cups butter, your 1 tablespoon lecithin granules. You can use anywhere from 7 grams to a whole ounce, hell, even 2 ounces, depending on how potent you want it to be. And you let it simmer. You can simmer it on low heat between 160 to 200 degrees. Don't exceed 200 degrees Fahrenheit or you might burn out the cannabinoids. It's really important. You don't want to lose your terpenes and your cannabinoids because the heat was too high. So you let it simmer. You can do it in a crock pot. A lot of people can do it in a crock pot, 6 to 12 hours of just letting it simmer. The mixture, your butter should never come to a full boil. What I love to use, and it's my go-to, is the magical butter machine. This is just amazing. It's a
groundbreaking.
Yes.
I mean, it's the thing to have if you're really going to be
doing your infusions. It's perfect. You can't go wrong. With the machine, I would put everything in there, my lecithin, my butter, my decarbed cannabis, set the temperature at the top to 160. It even has a setting for butter. It has a setting for oil. It has a setting for alcohol tincture. So you can choose how many hours that you want it programmed for, and you just let it rip.
Yep, and that's a picture there of the magic butter machine that you can get
on
magicalbutter.com, or you can even find this machine on Amazon. So it's out there if you want it. Go ahead and
so once it beeps and goes off, you open it up. There's your butter. You pour it out into a cheesecloth or a mesh. What I love about the magical butter machine, it comes with its own mesh strainer. Yeah, so you pour it in there and put your butter in the fridge. You're ready to go.
How long does it be in the fridge for?
It can last
as long as regular butter lasts.
Yeah.
It's going to last.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about it too.
Awesome.
Yes.
Go for it.
So you were asking about, well, how, when you are making your infusions at home, how do you know, how can you tell how potent
it is? Right?
And, that's a problem for a lot of people who prefer to actually not go to dispensary and, spend all your money on their infusions, but, you can make your infusions yourself, right? So there are not a lot of people who can afford to take each sample or each batch of what you make to a cannabis testing lab that'll, print out the whole, breakdown of how much cannabinoids and potency and percentage and all of that. However, there are online cannabis dosage calculators, and one of my favorites, absolute favorites that I love to use is, I think it's hempster.com. And they have on there their own edible dosage calculator. In fact, I think if you were to click on that, there's a link, or you can just go to hempster.com. And
You mean to click on the edible dosage calculator?
yeah, if you have internet, it'll take you there.
Of course we have internet, but I don't know if the slide is active.
Probably not, but that's okay. You guys can go to
Yeah,
the
I have a
edible dosage
screenshot of
calculator.
it anyway.
And that's a way to test as well. If you are not that technical, you don't know, how to use it and things. Another way that you can test it is on your peers.
But wait.
Yes, I love testing on my peers. How do you feel?
No. I mean, that's always good too, but I think because we're an infusion company, and we don't send our specimens off to the lab to know exactly how much our butter is. But I do know, and I do have an idea because I use this online app right here. And so there's the link. So, okay, for instance, for the butter that I just made, it walks you through step by step. Enter the amount of cannabis in grams. So I used 28 grams, which is an ounce of cannabis. Enter the THC percentage. And this is so important. The higher your THC potency, the higher your edible or your infusion is going to be, right? So a lot of people like to use lower what you call it?
Lower percentages or lower THC. Because it actually gets boosted on a major way.
If you were to use like a 10% THC strain, once you actually decarbed it and put it in, butter, now it's probably at least 20-30% THC. So you boosted it. So imagine if you started off with a 20-30% THC strain. Now you've boosted it to at least 60% by the time you're done. So potency is really important to know. So I love the fact that it asks you the THC percentage that you can enter that, because then that will give you an even more accurate reading. Yes. So, and then the amount of liquid or melted butter for the infusion, I put 1 cup. So boom, right there, the first arrow, the total milligrams of THC, it calculates it for you. If you used an ounce of weed with 20% potency and you used a cup of butter, you actually made a butter infusion, which is 5,600 milligrams of THC.
Oh, it says 46.
56.
Oh no. 40, okay. I'm at the bottom. My bad.
Right. So
I was looking at the per teaspoon.
Right. The actual batch of butter is 5,600 milligrams.
Okay.
But how much milligrams per THC, per tablespoon would be, what's it say?
350 milligrams.
Okay. And now, you take your butter. I'm going to make a batch of, let's say, brownies or cookies. So for your brownies or cookies recipe, you're using your infused butter. You know that it's 5,600 milligrams. The whole batch is that potent. It's 350 milligrams per tablespoon, and I'm using 4 tablespoons of my infused butter in my entire recipe. So then it calculates it for you, because then it asks how many servings are going to be in your recipe. So I'm making 4 tablespoons. I'm adding to my recipe of cookies or brownies, and I know that the servings is going to be 30 servings. So bam. How much is every single brownie square or cookie? It's going to be around 46.67 milligrams.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's how it works.
Hey. We are doing things.
That app. Yes. It's very user friendly. You can find them online, and just as you're making your extracts and your infusions, just, use that as a guide, because at least it would give you a pretty accurate idea of how strong or how potent your infusion is. And you do know that when you go to the dispensaries, the most that they would give you as a serving at one time is 10 milligrams. So you just made at home your own infusion
on one serving.
About 50 milligrams.
You're going to be lit.
Yeah.
You're going to be lit.
This is why people prefer their own home infusion. Because, of course, the dispensaries, they don't want to be liable
for anything that's too damn high, right? So they kind of microdosing.
Exactly.
That's what microdosing is.
Which is great too.
It's a whole nother episode that we're definitely going to get into microdosing, so you guys stay tuned.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's up to you to try out different edibles and different strains, and just to figure out what works, the best for you.
Right.
For first-time users, we start off with a low dose of edibles, maybe 5 to 10 milligrams, like we were just talking about at the dispensaries. They're like 10 milligrams max. Usually, what we see. Right?
Yeah.
I don't ever see a serving.
I mean,
more
the whole
than
pack might be 100
100
milligrams
for
or
each serving.
200 milligrams, but each serving is like 10 or 20 milligrams max.
Yeah. And so when you take and you ingest that amount, you just have to wait. Just give it at least 30 minutes, even a couple of hours to start gauging all the effects. And if you have a full stomach, the effects kind of would be a little
blunted a little,
so you won't get as
much. Because first
much.
your stomach has to break down the food and then break down the cannabis.
Exactly. So it's good to eat it on an empty stomach or not
but
as
if
full.
you do take it on an empty stomach, do realize that you're probably going to be higher than you would if you actually ate before.
And these highs can last between 4 hours, 8 hours, or more.
12 hours, 24
or
hours,
the next day.
36 hours.
Okay.
I've had one where I literally stayed high for about 3 days. Mine
lasted till the next day. I had to call in to work, guys. So, you don't want to have to call in to work. Make sure that you're not overdosing
yourself. You're being responsible because Purple Dank promotes responsible cannabis usage, okay?
Yes.
We're not getting sued, y'all.
No, we're not.
Know your limits.
No, ma'am.
Exactly. It's so important.
Yes. So, when paired together, like we had said about the whole entourage effect, when we talked about like the ECS system, the endocannabinoid system, CBD, THC. So again, look for strains that have both. You're gonna want, the benefits of both. A lot of the times you can make your edibles, really, really potent, but if you add some CBD extra to it, whether it's CBD oil or CBD bud, then it takes the edge off. Because we do know people do have like psychoactive reactions
from the weed, such things like memory interruption. Maybe your short-term memory. You go to the next room, and be like, "Damn, what the hell I came in here for?"
Or you're driving 35 in a 65 mile zone.
Yes. So
and you're like, why is everybody passing me up?
You don't even know.
Right, you're just cruising, just feeling nice and good. It can also induce anxiety and paranoia, guys.
Yeah,
so
we know this about cannabis.
We know this about Jamila right here. She used to really be paranoid in the beginning of
but I pushed through.
Yeah.
I kept at it.
It really
I refused to stop.
Like we're in our car in the driveway, smoking in the car. So who's that car driving down the girl? It's a public street. It's a neighborhood. Anybody can drive down the street.
It's my street, though.
Girl.
Who is that?
Exactly. The paranoia was real
nosy
with her when she was, first getting it. But she good now.
Yeah, good. Fantastic.
One thing about weed, and we went over it the last episode, you will not die. You can't overdose
I've seen
on it.
people like videos call 911. That shit was so funny.
I think we're dead.
Right.
Me and my wife have overdosed.
A police officer, that one. He was an actual cop that took some
evidence.
And
went
no
home and
business.
ate it with his wife.
Yes.
And they were
Thought
just
they
doing the most. Turned up the wrong way.
Exactly. Right.
They ain't had no Purple Dank guidance. If they was in class, they would have known how to govern themselves.
You guys, you actually can contact us and we can walk you through and walk you down your high, just as a service. Because
that's something we want to do as well, to be able to help, a person to come down. And
calm down.
We're thinking about having a hotline.
A 2
What are
hour.
your symptoms? What are your side effects? How much did you pay?
Because we want to help people through their hair. We don't want them to have like the bad experience and then never ever mess with it again, because it's so many things that
so much benefits.
So many benefits of
medicinal,
different strokes.
Right. For different folks.
Hey, and it still beats doing cocaine and crack.
Yeah, stay on to that.
Heroin and
weed is from the earth.
Yes,
it's
all
natural.
Baby, all natural.
It grows in the ground.
Yes, and your body is actually programmed to receive it.
Yes. Also, that's what the human receptor chart is. Okay, I'm peeping it. I'm looking at it.
Right.
Classic session, y'all.
Yes,
and you learn yesterday.
I learned today.
Hell yeah. So. Right.
Last
good
but
at
not
this.
least. Last but not least. We We have our own line of edibles, like we said earlier.
Last slide.
So whether
Sorry,
it's
I'm still looking at the receptor chart. Excuse me. I'm trying to line my receptors up with the picture. I'm like, okay, it's my arm right here. That's why.
That's homework. That's homework.
Okay, I got homework, y'all.
Yeah, so coming to we wish we were represented by a dispensary. Holla, holla.
Hey,
Okay.
come on, manifestations. That's what we're doing.
What's up, Palm Royal?
Yes.
We're
What's
ready.
up? We
We
ready?
got all butters, ice creams, and coming at you this week.
Yeah, this
We're launching
Thursday, July 28th.
with the nicest.
Yes,
The
the nicest.
Yes, love that. The
Yes.
nicest.
He's
We're
gonna
coming
have his
with
I see us going on like
the
a
nicest lemonade,
yes.
y'all.
I see us going on like a dispensary tour
Oh,
with the
ooh.
lemonade and little pat.
Yes.
Just a little
yes.
something
Yes.
just a little something I
Well,
see in my head.
If I could see it.
Come on now.
believe it.
Let me turn the slide
We
on
want
so
you to
y'all can see
believe.
these fools.
We
Hold on,
want
they
you to
finna go.
We want you to believe.
Believe it or achieve it.
Yes.
I love it. And the delicious ice cream we just tried.
Yes,
Carl gives it a thumb up.
Okay.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up.
Alright,
Yes.
so that was our course tonight on edibles. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you
Learned
some
a lot.
new
Yes.
stuff. Call and let us know if you have any questions, if you need any further explanations on anything, or
And
just
How do they
DM
order
away.
like ice cream and reach you guys so they can get their ice creams?
DM us.
Yes,
Okay.
you can DM us for now. Also, you can go to our website, purpledankconfusions.com, and hit us up there, leave and place an order, fill out a form, let us know what you want.
And we'll get right back to you.
Yes, we will.
Thanks for joining us, you guys. Purple Dank class in session. Hey, class is over.